Now, a federal high court on Friday adjourned for further mention a suit challenging the nomination of Femi Gbajabiamila for the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives in the 9th National Assembly until June 14. Gbajabiamila was sued before the court by one Philip Undie, a businessman. The businessman is challenging the eligibility of Gbajabiamila to contest for the Speakership of the House on the grounds that he has a criminal allegation in the state of Georgia, USA. Other respondents and defendants in the suit are the House of Representatives, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the All Progressive Congress. Joining us in the news to talk about this is a social commentator and a lawyer, Dr. Jerome Okoro. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure being here.
What's your immediate reaction to this suit in the first instance? Okay,
the suit, I think, is a welcome development in the interest of democracy and political advancement in this present era, because someone sued to determine the qualification or otherwise of a member of the House of Assembly, because the suit, first of all, inquires into the qualification of Gbajabiamila to be in the House of Representatives and then to be the Speaker of the House. So it touches on the law, the Constitution. It has a constitutional history. We have Section 66 of the Constitution, Section 65 and 66. Section 65, it defines the qualification to be in the National Assembly, which says the person has to be, in terms of age, 35 for the Senate, 30 for the House of Representatives, and other criteria. And then in terms of disqualification, there's an outline from that section 66, subsection 1, you have from paragraphs A to, I think, G. But there was an amendment in 2010 that removed the paragraph H that says if it is an indictment, in other words, there must be a conviction. It must be certain that there was a conviction before you disqualify somebody. And that's an offshoot of a case, Action Congress and INEC, which I think took place in 2007, where the Supreme Court held that a mere indictment is like placing the onus of proof of innocence on the person who is indicted, unless the court of competent jurisdiction has convicted the person. You have no right to punish the person with the assumption that the person has committed a crime. So I think that is making the law a little bit lenient here, because there are provisions that talks about conviction. That's same section 66, subsection 1, but there is a conflict between paragraphs C and D. Paragraph C says if the person has incurred a sentence, let's say a death sentence, fine, imprisonment for any offense concerning fraud or dishonesty. But the conflict is with paragraph D that says if that conviction is for a period of 10 years, it now puts a window of 10 years from the time of the conviction to the time the person. In other words, a conviction earlier than 10 years will not come in there. So all these things are lenient. So if we just oppose law with morality in terms of the integrity of people who will represent us and those who will lead the body of those representing us, you now find out that all these things in the Constitution, so they create problem. But coming down to the...
Just to interject, will this... I know there's so much to say about this, but is there a consequence, considering the fact that the Night Assembly will be inaugurated on June 11?
Yes.
Is there any consequence to the process in time, because it's already in the running?
Oh, well, yes, there is a consequence. There's consequence because the suit was adjourned. It was not even heard. So it's not as if a decision has been taken. There's a consequence because...
It's been adjourned to after the inauguration. So once that assembly has been inaugurated, will it still have any weight?
Yes, it will have weight. It will have weight, a lot of weight, because Assuming the assembly is inaugurated, and even if the person in question here is elected the Speaker of the House and the decision is taken in the long run that he was not qualified to be a member of the House of Representatives, let alone be the Speaker of the House of Representatives, then the foundation on which the speakership is built will not be standing. As the popular ordaining said in UAC and Mark 4, you cannot place something on nothing and expect it to stand. So while the suit is still pending, the National Assembly can go on with their processes. And so that also brings a challenge, a call to duty, a call for vigilance on citizens. Because this Philip Undie that went and sued here, he is described in the news as a businessman. He is a businessman. In other words, he's just a citizen that is concerned about the integrity of the running of the legislation. So, assuming Gbajabiamila has been in the House, it's only now that he aspires to be a speaker. In fact, it was in the immediate past assembly, the 8th assembly. He was the majority leader there in the House of Representatives. But now that so assuming the issue, if the issue were brought up beforehand to even determine, because the case in question was a case, something that took place in 2007 in the state of Georgia in the United States. So if this issue, if this action had been brought up to challenge his qualification, his eligibility to even sit there to represent a constituency in the House of Reps, the matter would have been laid to rest. And so if he were cleared before now, then it won't come up as a clog in the wheel of progress in electing leaders of the National Assembly, precisely the House of
I would want to pick your thoughts quickly in 30 seconds, if you can do that. Just tell us your thoughts on the tussle, the leadership tussle ahead of the inauguration of the Night Assembly. Just in 30 seconds, if you can.
Okay, well, my thoughts is that we have to, first of all, our representatives, we have played our roles as the electorate by electing members. So the ball is in the court of our representatives in the National Assembly, the House of Senate, and the House of Representatives. So there are a lot of things they will inquire into. We are going legalistic if we talk about the qualification on otherwise based on decision of the court. That's based on what the law says. Now, we should try to bring up morality and just oppose it with the law. So what is the integrity of this person who we are going to vote for? Because not all of us are going to vote as we did in the general election. It's our representatives. So they are called to duty to know that the conscience of all Nigerians are in their hands to exercise, to express in the election of their leaders in the National Assembly.
Thank you very much, sir.